What's up, everyone? Today I want to talk about the fact that you are probably not as bad as you think you are. In fact, you may be pretty darn good, but you may not realize it. So, basically, today, especially over the past week, I've been noticing a lot of things about people. I've started to realize that there are people who just suck in terms of social skills. They suck in terms of a lot of things, reading social cues, body language, etiquette, a lot of things, grooming, fashion sense, health, and they suck at a lot of these things. And they're doing a lot of things wrong, they're violating things. Again, this is not just all one person. Oftentimes they're doing some things wrong. And what I've come to realize is that, if you're ever on this journey of self-development and all these areas, especially like me, and going so deep into all of it and understanding it so well, and understanding what's attractive to a female and so forth, you can get way over your head and think, oh, I need to be perfect on all these things. I need to be very kind. I need to be a good person. I need to be nice to kids. I have to be confident, smart, funny, very physically attractive, have good style, grooming, gotta put my hair up, all this stuff, successful, blah, 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 blah. And it can overwhelm you tremendously. And in all honesty, when you look around at you, most people out of the billions out there are far from perfect. There are so many individuals who are married, who have kids, who are dating, who have, their love life or their dating life has ended and they've settled down. And a lot of these people, it's happened naturally, or, they've put in some effort as well, but they were not perfect. And you do not need to be perfect. Perfect is not possible. In fact, even like the highest status people, the people you think have it all together in terms of looks, fashion, how they live their lives, it's not even true. Like, have you seen pictures of Leonardo DiCaprio without a shirt off? He's not some six-pack abs man. And then even like these models who do this, or like Channing Tatum, these actors, they work out for the role, but after the role, you see those pictures, they're kind of flabby down there. So again, if you push yourself too much, you can get a distorted sense of where you are. And I do think, personally, from observing the world, there are plenty of inefficiencies out there. And, there's so many factors where you can end up in a situation where who knows why it is. Maybe you live in a horrendous geographic area or a bunch of other factors, but you are a pretty darn awesome individual and things just aren't working out. However, I really hope you don't take that too far, because there's plenty of people on the flip side who are arrogant, think they're so awesome, think they're a 10 out of 10, and in reality, it's like, you're not there. You're not really there in a lot of ways. You're not really successful, or again, you don't need to be successful, but you're not there in a lot of ways, and you think you are, and you think you're handsome and so good looking, and you're not. So it's a bit of, taking both extremes to a grain of salt. That made no sense. Taking both extremes with a grain of salt, and understanding where you fall into it, and not swaying too much to either extreme. What I've also found is that a lot of people, they luck out, or things happen just very naturally for them, and it flows. And you can't discount that. You can't go to the extreme of, oh my goodness, I'm just a screwed individual. I don't have any social skills, and I have to work on all this stuff, and I gotta hustle and figure it out and practice and do all this stuff. Don't look at it as a chore. Look at it as a learning experience that's fun. And on top of that, realize that you're probably not as horrendous as you think you are if you're on that extreme of, oh my goodness, I'm so horrendously bad. Which is also important. Like, it's this theme of extremes is very important. As Charlie Munger, the billionaire, says, avoid extremes. They're usually wrong. So the other extreme would be, oh my goodness, I'm so socially skilled. All these things naturally came to me. And that type of arrogance can lead you to places where you don't want to be, especially if you're really, in reality, not that great. So I do think having a healthy intermediate perspective is very healthy. And in this situation, realize that for you to exist, every single male ancestor in front of you had to successfully mate. And so you are a uh, lineage of not just successful reproducers, but also successful survivors. And your ancestors went through a hell of a lot worse than you may have to go through. In certain ways, you can't discount things. You probably went through some stuff in your own way that's very difficult. But remember, they went through war, disease, competition, and there's this scientific, these psychologists, and I was listening to this podcast, and they basically said that um, your ancestors as males, only 40% of them on average succeeded in successfully mating. That's how competitive it was for a lot of reasons. And so you are a lineage of competitors. However, based on how life works, we're always continuing to compete. So even though you got all this backing you up, you can't fall into the fallacy that, oh, it's all fine and dandy, because you're still competing now.